think there was anything wrong with either team's draft previous game.
No.
Is that fair to say?
I wouldn't say anything was wrong, and this is where if we said Chicken Fighters lost their first game in a way that felt like, oh, we just got the lanes wrong, we can fix it quickly, easy to bounce back from. This is a tougher loss to deal with as TICKLES, because they were in the driver's seat for this game. They were controlling it, they had all the options, and still Liquid managed to crawl their way back in.
I think this is like one of those games that really puts a test on how teams identify why they lost, because at the end of this game, you know, some players, their habit is to blame, oh, yeah, you've picked me, you know, I'm dying, I can't lock down, you know. Some people blame other stuff, but this is like one of those clear moments where if TICKLES just adjust how they approach holding a lead, like their positioning in, if we're going to try and siege a tier 3 or we're going to try and play aggressively, we need to have maybe Night Stalker standing up front, Undying behind, etc. Like, these small things, these nuances in positioning, then they'll be fine. So honestly, I don't think they'll be too disheartened by this loss. Sure, it's bad to, you know, be one down, but the way in which they lost this game was due to the brilliance of their opponent finding that one in. Like, it's hard to find that in every single time in a game. So yeah, this is such an evenly matched series.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it truly is. But you don't have too much time to analyze between a game, and losing due to your opponent's brilliance in mid-late game team fights, that's the toughest one, man.
True.
That is really harsh.
The coach
they have to quickly,
up,
they have to quickly just reset, new mentality, go into game 2 with a new idea perhaps, or like be able to not focus on what went wrong so much and just try and create a better game.
But what can go right this game?
Well,
Exactly.
this time what could go right is that this time Team Liquid doesn't ban Tree and Protector. Therefore, Celery can play his Tree and Protector, which is a fearsome tree.
Yeah, I think the thing with TICKLES so far is when their first pick, their picks have always been within the same realm, right? I think with most teams, it's either Bane, IO, Weaver, Snapfire, and then TICKLES spices it up a little bit with the Tree, right? So Liquid kind of forced them to pick between Tree and Snap. They go Tree, therefore Liquid takes Snap.
Yeah, Snap quite strong against Treant in many ways, so not the most terrible trade, but it is difficult to deal with an experienced Treant player, and I mean, that's the value of having a hero spammer who's like excelling at something, is that you can have this threat now. And Treant is kind of hard to counter fully.
Well, I guess, you know, you got living armor on Tree, so at least that's a benefit because you can deal with a little shredder. Obviously not early on, you don't really level it, but going into like the earlier fights, you can deal with the Solar Crest style play that we've seen Snapfire popularize. And when you talk about Snapfire, I got a bit sad because I realized Modern Kisses doesn't break trees and all these fire spells that don't break trees. It does give vision though, so that'll be pretty helpful if the tree doesn't have shot. Of course, being invisible, you can find him, but
it was a huge buff to oh, there's some
there's the tree breaking.
There's tree cutting. Yeah, we might see a Caudal as well, you know, see all the tree cuts, some Enigma.
I'm down.
But yeah, Mars is a great pick here. Not only super strong combo, of course, Mars Snapfire. How many times have we seen that combo? Those two heroes, they work so well together. But like we said, Treant is gonna have a hard time hiding against this.
I think as well that previous game, like with Liquid and how Mars itemized, you could say that some Marses like to go for Yule's Blink style, be a bit more defensive, but I think ATF, OG offlaner, and Alzai just showed it as well. You can be greedier in these heroes if your team is able to still survive during the point where you're not being the focal point. Like, as soon as you get Blink, BKB on an offlane, you're pretty much set for the entire game, right? Like, every other item is a novelty, so why not invest that gold into an actual scaling item? Why not fully overwhelm yourself with these, like, smaller items?
Yeah, I like the builds on Mars where you're at some point envisioning yourself having Satanic and actual sustainability in a fight. Because like Blink, BKB, Yule's build, it's quite good for catching people, but at some point you want to have that going from 0 to full HP again in a team fight, like against SF. It's very useful.
I guess the difference is like you go for the Yules when you need a little bit more catch, when the hero is a bit more elusive, but in games like this, where there isn't that need to have consistent catch and you can just be that frontlining style hero, then being greedier items is cool. But again, it's like, it's the player in the game having the read in the moment, deciding, can I scale to that point? Will my team survive and cover me whilst I'm a little bit, you know, AFK in the farm department?
It's also just analyzing how the games have been played here that I've been watching so far today. It's very teamfight centric. It's very 5v5. And in those events, Yule Scepter on Mars is not a necessity as much. That's a catching item. It's very good for moving around the map due to the movement speed you get. But for team fighting, I mean, obviously BKB and Blink is just what you need. You know, it's stronger. This duo start here of Team Tickles going for Treant and Tide,
Radiant team
it does have some weaknesses. You just pick two massive HP heroes, kind of low armor, and both are melee. Spear Breaker? Okay, I'll leave this.
No.
Is this a Spear Breaker game?
We can't get too giddy now. No.
All right.
The reason why it's kind of cool is, well, already Tickles actually has good heroes against Spirit Breaker because the
10
Nature's
seconds
Grasp,
remaining.
the slow. Spirit Breaker hates playing into slows because, of course, it slows your
5
charge down.
seconds
You're unable to
remaining.
really escape, and naturally, slow cow equal no damage. So I actually really like Treant to the hero. And then Tidehunter as well.
Radiant
Naturally, you can
team
frontline and exist. When Spirit Breaker gets shard though and has the break,
Dire
that's when you
team.
become food. But before then, you're
Phantom
looking pretty good.
Assassin.
Yeah, and break
Oh,
looking
double break
really
now.
nice for him now. If he can break the PA as
Yeah.
well, that could be big value. There's now the Disruptor who could glimpse you back when you try and charge away. So
The cool thing as well is like we saw Mars in offlane, but this could easily just be like a Mars mid Spirit Breaker offlane
10
because Zai's been
seconds
loving playing offlane Spirit Breaker, but you know their content team. Koikova, he's been
seconds
playing
remaining.
mid cow, so if he's still chatting with the lads and he's sending a couple tips their way, this could also easily just be like a very flexible offlane or mid, even 4 position Spirit Breaker, very open right now.
yeah, again, that's also been kind of the theme, right? Today we've had a lot of kind of unpredictable drafts. Is it a safe lane SF? Is it a mid SF? A lot of flex picking, even Kunkka being played as carry and so on. So yeah, this Mars could definitely go either mid or off lane. But one of them is going to be pairing up and working together with Snapfire, that's for sure.
A lot of bonus time used this time around on the side of Team Liquid. Thinking hard about what they might want to pick here. This is, of course, part of the reason why they like second pick, because if you have second pick, you have last in this phase and also last
Radiant
overall pick,
team back.
which gives you a little bit of an edge, so you can
Oh, boy.
protect this.
I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, Timbersaw, of course, feels great because into PA, physical damage doesn't do great. Into Tide, into Tree.
But then you have a Mars and a Spirit Breaker already.
Yeah, that's why.
You got basically 3 offlane.
Like in my mind, I was
And,
like, "Don't say this, T. Don't
10
say this here. It's gonna look like a fool." Because people are like, "Yeah, but wait to carry."
one of the highest strength gain support as
5
well with the
seconds
Snapfire.
remaining.
This is an incredibly tanky lineup.
But yeah, so this is the issue right now for Tickles is their damage is kind of non-existent. Where like Disruptor and Tree, they do their damage in laning phase. Once that collapses, they aren't like the titans of fights, And then Tide and PA, like Tide is an enabler, PA needs items. So right now, like this mid hero needs to be some insane damage dealing mid. And then for Liquid, I kind of feel like most likely this is like Mars. I feel like Spirit Breaker's just 4, Snap's 5. Mars and Timber are like flexed between offlane and mid. Their carry will be their last pick, but
So we need a Matu hero.
we need
10
Matthew hero for
seconds
Yeah.
Liquid.
remaining.
That seems like the safest way for them to do it for sure. I kind of like Bloodseeker for Team Liquid in this game again. We saw it countering out the PA before. It's not bad to have Bloodseeker against Treant and Tidehunter as well. I like it quite a lot. So it's a possible hero. As for Team Tickles, I'm looking towards something
10
like a
seconds
maybe Void Spirit for them.
You looking for something
5
mobile
seconds
that can create enough space for the PA?
Something that doesn't get locked down easily by the charge into Spear, into Cookie. Void Spirit is elusive and difficult to deal with, and he also brings a lot of magical damage.
Is Viper available?
Yes, Viper is still in the pool.
Potentially some type of haha tanky boy, you out position, you dead now type hero could be cool, but
I mean,
That's
if
a bit
you go
nuts, by the
Viper
way.
on Team Tickles, you have 4 heroes that can actually do a 4v5 team fight. If you
Yeah.
have Treant,
Dire
Tide,
team
Disruptor,
back.
Viper, that could fight into 5 heroes, and PA just AFK farms.
yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Because other than that, their other option is get a mid hero that has structural damage in the hope to outmaneuver Liquid, but then like in the back of your head you're like, that's stupid because there's a cow who's gonna be charging you non-stop, and it's gonna be so
10
hard to like
seconds
out
remaining.
macro a team that has Spirit Breaker. That is why the hero is so strong.
They banned the safe lane
5
TA.
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Yeah, not
I'm
for you.
happy. I'm going home.
No. All right,
Okay,
we got
well-
Leshrek as the last ban, so there's some extra magic damage
Yeah.
being removed, because that is something that would indeed be annoying for Team Liquid to deal with.
Because again, for like Liquid right now, the weakness in their tankiness is the fact that they don't,
10
they only
seconds
do
remaining.
damage if it's like Mars plus Snap killing someone. Timber exists and can kill in
5
their lane, but he doesn't like
seconds
quickly move. And Spirit Breaker sets up for damage. So they are still missing that component of like 0 to 15 minute, we're going to quickly kill you over and over again. So if Tickles was to pick up some Bat Lesh style hero, that can quickly piece together some fights, then Liquid could be unraveled before they hit that tanky timing.
Yeah, they can still go for kind of the cousin of the Leshrac, I would say, on the mid lane, the Lina. It plays similar in many ways. Still works well with their draft if they want to go for it. And it would be a bit more physical than the Leshrac in terms of damage dealt, but it could work as well here if they just want something that keeps them afloat and in the game.
I mean, that's kind of what Tickles need. They need to stay afloat for PA to like reign supreme.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Dire team pick.
Here we go.
It's gonna be the OD.
Oh, that works. Yeah.
Magic damage.
Banger.
That is a genius pick against the Timbersaw as well. One of the best heroes
Insta pick
against
the
him.
bam. Sorry, I got excited because it was Insta pick. But as you were saying with the OD though?
Yeah, OD against Timbersaw in general, it's one of the heroes that has the easiest time dealing a ton of damage to a hero like Timbersaw. Timber also doesn't want to go for BKB early necessarily.
Ooh, hello, Mickey Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
Mid Spirit Breaker.
This is going to be a weird one because of course, melee hero against OD is never that fun.
And nice words.
Low attack speed can also be kind of awkward. But I think the key thing for Liquid is how do they react to the mid lane when OD gets hammer? Are they bringing heroes to mid to deal with the OD and the hammer, or are they just killing everyone else and sacrificing the lane?
I think they're gonna pretty much abandon ship on the mid lane and just have to win other places hard.
I'm just so silly. You just put a casual point in Bulldoze. Every OD player plays on the fact that when the thing goes over the edge, they use the hammer. Bulldoze?
No, man, he's skilled enough. He's gonna know how to do it.
Or all 4 points of Bulldoze?
The first one is gonna mess up. The first time before you realize he's got that point.
Even if you can do that, why do you want to be in lane with an OD though? You don't want to be there in the first place.
Oh, this is just going to be a brawl. This is good. But OD is a great hero because, you know, you get the hammer, you pressure naturally, but maybe Bulldoze and Spirit Breaker in lane at least could be a thing to offset that 6-minute timing, but realistically it's going to be...
That tower dying, dude.
That tower's going to die. Yeah, it is.
All right, so we got a Spirit Breaker versus Outworld Devourer mid. That is an unusual matchup. I can't wait to see it together with OD Pixel and Jenkins.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, game 2 now ready to go here between Team Liquid and Team Tickles. Jenkins, what do you make about this draft? We have a lot of beefy boys on our Liquid's lineup.
We do.
Backed up now by Jug with a healing ward, losses sustained. They're going to be tanky. But that last pick, the OD, panel seem pretty excited for it. Seems like a good game. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in terms of like OD versus the entire Liquid lineup, like these tanky boys hate playing against that massive fear damage. They all have low int pools, and so you are going to like one-shot them with the OD ult. With that being said, anytime you pick an OD, he's kind of the carry of the team.
Sure.
You know, it's on the greedier side, and so you always question like, can you get to that mid to late game without losing the game? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. They've got Tidehunter, they've got Treant, Disruptor, huge team fight. So that could definitely help them get to that late game.
Oh, here we go. Straight up with the action. We had some great smoke movements last game against some smokes up from both teams to start things off as we get out to get those initial wards sorted.
I'm curious where they put the wards. Oh, okay. Yeah, just one in the mid lane, and they scouts the. Oh, never mind. He smokes. Both teams smoke. Yeah, both teams smoke. Which is the fairly common trend here in the European DPC. You don't see this as much in NA. Oh, they go for a safe lane ward.
That little lane ward.
I do. I've noticed that Insania almost always takes a safe lane ward.
I mean, and it's unlikely to get caught right that side of the lane.
Very unlikely. I mean, just generally, the safe lane wards are hard to catch. Starts up with the Timber Chain. I always like starting with Timber Chain against Treant because the way that Treant is going to kill you is by keeping you in one spot in his Nature's Grasp. But Timber Chain, he just can't do that, so there's no kill threat. You can get harassed because you don't have the regen, but there's no kill threat.
Boxy. And a spot above him maybe. No, he's going to survive.
He has literally no regen. My boy is completely banking on his support. I think he goes back to base.
Well, how does this work? Where's Boxy gonna go?
Bot lane.
With the Timber.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm losing it. Okay.
That's why, because he's not Boxy Evolver.
No,
he's a different roster.
I saw him on Mars. Yeah, this is weird. This is weird.
You're just you're just processing this now. You're like,
this is actually reminiscent of old Liquid, where they had Taiga and Boxy doing a similar thing, where they would both be playing like kind of offlaners. They would be like Puck SK, except in this case,
it's
Timbersaw Mars, which are like two very extremely clear offlaners, and Boxy started no regen.
I mean, you've never seen this lane before, right?
No, and I don't think I've seen no regen on the 4 before.
He's got some regen.
Now he does, because he went back to base. So I suppose he was thinking of sending it back on the courier. He's just going to wave cut. Oh, he does not get the full wave, though. That's rough. Okay, I'm curious to see how he responds to this. He's going for the next one, I guess.
Okay. Tofu's going to come back down. Maybe see if they can bully Zai a bit more whilst he's level 1. Yeah, Boxy only going to be able to keep playing around with those 2 creeps.
Now, both teams are doing some crazy wave cutting shenanigans here. Really important that Boxy gets this pull off because he's dealing with a tri-lane down here, which I love this as a response to Timbersaw as a hero. Like, you want him to get level 3 and then he's just unkillable. So punishing him until he gets to that point and keeping him level 1 for longer and longer means that your carry can actually solo up against him eventually, because you have enough items.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm gonna try for Boxy here, but
Zai's in.
Oh, he is in. And he's out.
He also has no regen. He just got some off the courier.
Boxy, with Dracho jumping in, not gonna be able to do it. Stick at the ready. Boxy's fine, but he is now probably gonna gonna stick around and walk back to base. And he's got courier coming out.
I can't believe. I can't believe how this no regen thing has progressed. Like, this is the weirdest thing. This is such a weird lane. Look at this massive triple range creep wave.
Yeah. Boxy goes for the deny to the neutrals. Zai being bullied back away from this lane. I mean, it seems like a slow start on the XP for these two, right? For Zai and Boxy. I mean, Boxy's going to be stuck at level 1 for quite some time, right?
Yeah, this is just a beautiful call from Team Tickles. And now they have the lane equilibrium back here. They can just prevent the creep cut from both Boxy and Zai. They're even right-clicking the creeps, so that way they can keep the equilibrium here. You don't want 3 range creeps pushing into you, because that means it's going to hit the tower and then bounce back. So they're just punishing Zai for being Timbersaw. This is like one of the most effective ways to deal with Timber. The problem is your offlaner's getting owned. Ace is 5-0, so, you know, not so good, but he's a Tide Hunter.
He's chilling. And he's getting the XP, right, level 3.
Man, they prevented Zai from getting the wave cut again. They just delayed, Celery is just delaying him for long enough that Zai literally couldn't get there in time.
See chop. I mean, Matu and Insania, whilst they might be stopping Ace from farming, they're not quite able to kill him. Mid lane, 17 for 3 against the 15 for 1. Pretty close. I mean, does it surprise you sort of the mid case doing as well as he is in this one? Do you want to get an OD?
You know, with the fact that Bash now does so much damage to creeps, I feel like it's a lot better of a farming and laning hero than people, you know, once thought in the core position, because you can get those last hits. Like, you can see he's able to farm up an easy camp fairly easily here. The old Spirit Breaker couldn't do that.
Sure. But you wouldn't expect the OD to be able to mesh with the Spirit Breaker more because, you know, it's a melee hero in the lane. Is that just not?
No, I really think core Spirit Breaker is just underrated. I think it's, well, maybe not anymore, but it's good. It's good. He's really good at last hitting, genuinely. OD is not what he once was in terms of dominating the lane.
Okay. On top lane, Ace, he's got some backup now, Tofu. He's moved over to help out in this top lane. I mean, more than happy with the start, of course. He's been able to secure the PA in 29 and 16. It doesn't really get much better than that here down bottom.
Yeah, they're happy. I mean, that's a lot of denies. That's the big factor here. So PA is always going to have this level advantage versus the Tide.
I mean, you see that Boxy level 1 here at 4.5 minutes. There you go, finally hits the 2. Gonna go on him, but the spear back will save him from Dracho into position. Celery also been chased down by Zai. Let's see if Zai's got any further burst. He's in with the Timber Chain, but the dagger slows down Zai. Celery will survive.
Interesting that Zai is opting to level Whirling Death instead of Reactive Armor. So, I suppose because he's against a tree in lane, so he just wants that damage based on the tree's strength. Almost got the kill there, so I can understand why.
Radiant's top tower is
Doesn't exactly have the mana regen to work with yet, though. Ooh, that's a big stack.
We got finally first blood to occur 5 minutes in. Matu Taking out Tofu. And to take back control around this pull that they were going for.
That is one issue with doing any sort of tri-lane, whether it's an aggro or defensive tri-lane, is that the moment you head to the other lane, you're all of a sudden really under-leveled and under-farmed because you're splitting it 3 ways. So he goes up there on Tofu, he doesn't have boots, doesn't have levels, so he's just kind of a sitting duck. They have 2 5 positions now on Team Tickles, which is the cost of shutting down the Timber in the early game. Meteor Hammer picked up pretty early.
He's got the combo. BD rune as well. Boom. As this mid lane has sort of been left for now. See Mickey is going to make the first move top. Wants to try and target Ace before he hits the 6. Set up bashes and slows into the Blade Fury damage. The ult from Mickey. The kill will be secured. Ace is taken out.
Oh, you know what? You know what Liquid might be doing? They might throw a Boxy mid now. They might just have Mickey go there until level 6, and then Mickey starts rotating.
Sure,
Boxy.
then you're like a level 3 Mars against the level 6 OD. It's kind of spooky.
Yeah, that is pretty.
I don't know if I want to be going to that lane.
I just feel like you have a Timbersaw in the off lane. Like, you want to leave the hero anyway, right?
Do, so he's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. And then I don't think Mickey also wants to sit versus an OD.
No.
This isn't good. In fact, almost. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Okay.
Good drag back with the glimpse there from Tofu. They'll get Boxy. As Boomer's got enough damage? Well, he certainly does. With that Astral, that'll do it. He doesn't need to look at that anymore as Boxy will pop. Double kill for Boom. Nicely cleaned up. I mean, we're discussing which one wants to be there. I don't think either of them want to be there, Jake, because they both died.
Yeah.
Middle tower
I think they'll be fighting to not go to the mid lane.
Yeah.
You don't want to go against this OD right now.
Come on, Boxy. You know you want to.
Please. Somebody take the mid.
No, I think, you know, in retrospect, maybe Snapfire mid is your play. It's just somebody who can, like,
Not be...
shoot things from far away.
Yeah, someone with a gun.
Yeah, absolutely. As Zai at this point. Oh, Boom with a rotation. This is really nice.
Yeah. Boom. He's starting to hit his stride. It doesn't have enough mana for the hammer. But looks like it won't be needed. Zai taken out. The killing spree continues for Boom. As this OD's off to a good start. We saw in the draft, it looked like a good OD game. He's certainly hitting his stride. They've got to have something in store for this OD. Boom could get out of control.
Does he miss it? He doesn't even try. He realized that the bulldoze was on, yeah. I think with level 1 bulldoze, you can immediately use the hammer and you'll still hit it. But then once you get those extra levels, it's just it's hard, yeah.
Zai. Still just level 4 down here, of course, with the awkward early XP shot.
Yeah, he's gonna
6.
He's gonna need some catch-up time on Zai. I feel like probably at some point you want to rotate to whatever lane the tide is in.
They'll make a go at the Ace. Ace does have Ravage, and he does have backup.
He is taking
that
more
Omni
damage.
Slash did literally nothing.
You're dead.
Yeah. He got anchor smashed. He had the Treant armor on. Even at the low levels of Treant armor, it's an extra 5 armor. So,
and we're gonna see it again.
More than doubling Tide's armor.
Let's see how much damage did it actually do. Let's do the maths. 915 he was on. Oh, actually, are we gonna get his HP bar? Probably not. It wasn't a lot. Nice little glimpse onto Mickey, just at about
915. The 2 bars is 250 each. So it did like 350 damage.
I thought that was generous.
Yeah.
Accelerate. We'll die here.
Trees do have a way of
Takes a little bit of a wander into the triangle of Liquid, and Liquid are quickly on start to sort it out. Boom. He's got the Stances clips ready to drop again, so the mid lane becomes spooky once more. And they're going to look to do something actually straight away with it. Tofu smoking up with Boom. They're ready to find a quick and easy kill with the OD combo.
Yeah, he's looking to completely take over this game right now.
Yeah.
Even against Juggernaut, I know Jug has spin, he has Omni, he has ways of being immune to OD's damage, but if you get caught off guard by OD spells...
Zai.
Oh no.
He's not going to expect Boom at all to be here. Come on, no, they don't even need the sanity. Couple of hits will do it. Another kill here for Boom's streak.
This game, to me, is a really great example of how to deal with Timber Saw one-on-one. Like this could be a lesson on how to deal with Timber, because Zai is so shut down because of the tri-laning they did, because of the mid pick being the OD, how they're rotating the OD, but they're not over-rotating to Timber either. It's just Boom going once he has levels. They start off the tri-lane to deal with him, and then eventually it's like, okay, well, we don't want to put 3 heroes versus the Timber for the entire game, because then Timber, he's laughing. Like, that's what he wants. You just put the OD, because the OD has the Meteor Hammer, he has the levels to kill the Timber. So I think this is definitely the play for Liquid to take lineup.
We're going to see a fight come out in the mid lane, but 6 has been hit from Toby. They'll put down the Static Storm. They do lose Boom. The Static Storm damage not enough to kill off Mickey. As Matcha with the Blade Fury heads up to the high ground, takes out Celery. Liquid, they're going to look to try and push on. 5 more. They're going to charge up the Toby. The Ravage comes in from Ace onto the 4 of them. It's their damage though. They're trying to get Mickey. They will find him with Draco turning up as well. Matcha commits him with the Omni Slash to the Blade Fury. And Cookie onto the 2 of them as well. Ace is able to keep himself alive with the Hood of Defiance. Draco also surviving for now. Boxy still looking to poke a bit more. Actually able to take a nice kill there with the spear. Tries for the TP out, but the damage from Draco is too much. Draco will get a nice little cleanup off the back of that. What was a good fight to start there for Liquid, killing off Boom.
Zai's just sitting up top. Like, please don't notice that I'm not there. Please, I need to catch up. Yeah, he got some damage on the tower. The catapult was alive. So Zai not showing up actually results in some map pressure, as well as some much needed space for him with that fight. And despite being 4v5, that actually went quite well for Liquid, just because Matumba is so farmed.
We're seeing both carries this game, going for the Battle Fury build. This tower, nice little bonus here to the Matu to get that final sword done and the Battle Fury online. And by the looks of it, both the Battle Furies are going to be coming out pretty similar timings here. It's going to be a close game, close matchup between the 2 carries.
And there's currently no trade happening for this tower. Boom is now heading up towards the top tower, but because Liquid was able to take this, they're going for Matumba. I mean, that's a hard kill.
Goes out for time. Tofu with a glimpse. Will find the setup on Twin Stadia. So Draco will still get some glory out of this. Mickey's charging in onto Tofu. He wants to get the trade on the Disruptor. He'll do so. Draco doesn't want to mess with him, but Mickey's not going to give him the option to run immediately as he goes in with the ultimate. Dagger slow should be enough though. Draco's back into the shadows. Top lane team Tickles looking for the setup onto Zai. They haven't got the sanities, so not that further burst of damage that would be required. And Zai's able to step back.
So Liquid do have TPs available to defend Zai up here. I think this is probably why Boom is walking away. Knowing that you had just lost your safe lane tower like that, the fairly obvious play for Liquid would be to just like endlessly defend this tower, have somebody farm bot, Mickey can do that, and then all of a sudden you're farming way more of the map. Healing Word sent all the way up towards top. That's cool. I like that. That's really cool. Keeping Zai full HP to defend this tower is very important because it gives them time to actually respond. Because chances are to OD, Zai will probably die in the engagement if some dive happens, but there will be a TP response.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Liquid's lineup is a very good lineup at TPing in and defending towers. And Team Tickles, how do these guys even hit towers?
Just OD. It's just OD.
Just that, yeah.
Which is convenient because he wants to be against Timber for this reason. He can do this damage. But you can see Boom. He's very afraid of the response. Coming in from the Spirit Breaker charge, coming in from the TPs. Like a Snapfire TP's in and ults, and all of a sudden, you know, it takes her 3 seconds and she's there because the ult is so long range. It doesn't matter how far Zai is, she's going to be able to hit you. Why are melee illusions so tanky? I always hit them and it's like, what the hell is this? How do you kill this as a disruptor?
I'm doing the best it's over.
There we go. The core walks over, yeah. That feels so bad as a 5.
Mickey, Echo Saber complete. On its way over. It's got that Arcane Rune as well. That will allow him to go pretty crazy with the charges. In the next fight, if they bring it, and again, Team Tickles, their best effort at fighting around a push is going to be around a good Ravage from Ace. And they have the ultimate, Static Storm, and Sanity's Ravage. It's all there. Ooh.
This death
more
actually
lag.
doesn't. This death
More lag.
actually doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
these guys,
They've got to get there.
their internet situation is not looking good.
They have a lot of ping.
if there's an internet company out there, you can get a team for very cheap. All you need to do...
What do you mean very cheap?
Because all you need to do is send them some good internet. They can download that.
They'll be like, yeah, sure, we'll accept the sponsor.
Yeah, well, maybe they're going to win this without 1,000 ping.
I mean, they look pretty decent, Tickles.
They look great.
Yeah. I mean, if this is what they're doing on bad internet, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Dire's middle
Easy
tower
deny that.
has been
Boxy.
denied.
Knock that out.
I keep seeing Mars and my head just keeps thinking, of course, that's Zai. But now it's Boxy. I mean, that's the convenient thing about having 2 previous offlaners on your team is that you can do these. You can do these really interesting style drafts that are just, they have that spice that people are not used to dealing with.
Yeah, and you know, of course, a few deaths were there earlier from Boxy in the slow start of the XP, but now, you know, he's level 8. I mean, and he's got an arena to offer. You know, what more could you ask for in position 4?
Yeah, that's all you need.
It's a pretty impactful ultimate.
Radiant
Absolutely, yeah.
structures
That's all you need.
are fortified.
Mars is actually pretty decent support.
We're going to try and start things. Static Storm will stop the threat of the arena coming into play. Ravage and Sanity's dropped down as they blow up Zai and Boxy. Insane here trying to hide in the trees, but Team Tickles, they're hot on him. Celery.
Dire's top
See if
tower
he can
is
close the
under
gap
attack.
here. And they
Radiant's
found him.
middle tower is
They
under
certainly
attack.
can.
Dire's
Even
structures are
Dracho,
fortified.
he's not even going to look at it. He's going to leave it for Boom and Celery to sort out.
Yeah, that's a huge creep wave mid. I mean, I can understand a carry player like dishing a kill like that.
Support kill, for a full creep wave.
That wave is worth way more.
Yeah, and it's pushing him close to his BKB.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite the timing still there for Dracho. Top of the farm has been able to stay ahead of that of Matu so far on the jug. Meanwhile, Matu Battle Fury into the Yasha.
I like the PAs these days are going for Battle Fury into straight BKB or Manta.
Yeah.
I feel like it gives you an earlier timing than the Deso into the BKB, and Dota is just played so fast in the current patch where people want to fight at that timing, and then also the Orbital Corrosion gives you a little bit of the kill threat that Deso does, you know? So it's like, do you really need even more kill threat? It's kind of redundant. Well, of course, you're going to eventually pick up the Deso. The BKB just makes it so that you feel borderline immortal.
Good Roche timing again here. We saw last game, I believe, as well. It was around the 16-17 minute mark. The Team Tickles sees the opportunity to take a quick Roche. Do so again now. Aegis into the hands of Boom. Top lane and Stadia dragged back.
Lizard spit.
Another kill here to add to the tally for Boom.
Yeah, looks like he was trying to get some vision up. He has 2 wards and a smoke. So yeah, he was trying to get some vision up just so that way, like with Team Tickles roaming into their jungle, moving into the jungle, like they would have vision of them, potentially be able to make a smoke play, maybe even with the Aegis being in their hands. If you get the right play on somebody, you can still.
Nicely Boxy. Let's try to push out the top wave, but Boom was ready and waiting. Dracho, easy kill steal. Kill secure.
Yes, of course, he's the carry.
I mean, he's the carry. Boom doesn't mind. Yeah, Boom's had enough kills anyway.
Yeah,
he's got to share the love a little bit.
Seriously, I mean, it's so greedy, these mid players. First they get all of these runes, and all of a sudden they care about you stealing their kills.
And now Dracho, that's his BKB sorted off the back of that kill.
Yeah.
So now he's in a pretty scary position. BKB, he can turn up to the fight. He's ready to get involved. And again, you know, a real sort of similar start as we saw last game. The Team Tickles, they get this early momentum, early lead. You know, I think just the question is going to be, you know, Liquid, how are they going to swing this round? We saw them do it big time last game, and this game they're not quite in the same position that they were playing from in the first one. It's not nearly as different. But Team Tickles definitely building up in a way that they're going to be starting to take these tier 2 towers. And Liquid, they might still sort of want to get more farm on Matu before they really get involved.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Boxy? Yeah, he'll be left alone here. They're not bringing any further efforts into this defense. Boxy goes down. Team Tickles can keep the push going on. This tier 2 should be theirs as Liquid don't seem too interested in defending this right now.
Yeah, Boxy was going for like the cheeky potential setup where maybe he catches the tree out of position. You know, you kill an enemy support first, all of a sudden maybe you can fight even though there is an Aegis in their hands. But of course Celery and Boom, well, they scouted that out.
They're getting a good trade here by the looks of it, Matu.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Dire's top tower.
I think if you're Team Tickles, you're just reminding yourself this game, probably Celery reminding his team, like, guys, remember what happened last game? Like, we need to stay focused 100%.
Look at this. They are actually pushing pretty darn nicely here with the hammer. And physical of the PA, it's worked. This tier 3, it's going down. It's 19 minutes in. But what have they got to offer? They're going to start things off with a charge. The kiss is coming in. Mickey committing with the honor, but the static storm down, and Mickey's got the BKB. Boom. Forces his way back down to safety. Team Tickles get the team reset against the BKB usage of Mickey. The kisses from Insania, they're no longer there to worry about. Back on with the push. Tickles, they hang on to the rack. Zai, drag back. Astral, Boom's ready with the setup. Combo with the spear, don't flip it. Boxy able to poke Boom to stop the meteor have a combo. Mickey charging back over the race, but there's the combo with the Ravage. The Sanity's crashing down onto Zai. Zai's out of action for 40 seconds. No chance for a buyback.
Under attack.
Liquid, they're going to have to defend 4 versus 5. Matu's here, but the Omni Slash has already been used. There's still an Aegis on Boom. Team Tickles doing plenty of resources to push on with. Mickey trying to charge out and clear the middle lane, but he's going to get dragged back by the Glims. It's 20 minutes in, and Tickles, they're going to get this wrapped. Liquid, they can't do anything about it.
This is going to sound kind of stupid, but it's unironically good.
Boom's ready to go back in. Whoop.
Tofu, they backed off and they just salved everyone. He has the shovel. He was sitting on 3 salves, and seriously, it let them re-engage after that play.
Yeah.
It's I don't think I've seen shovel used like that before.
Why don't you get a replay of the shovel use?
He's just hoarding the salves. Because the thing is, like, I think that defense from Liquid was good. It was like almost a fake defense. Like they just wanted to.
They lost the racks.
Well, to start, right?
Okay.
But because they back off on Team Tickles and they just heal and go back in.
I mean, Tickles, now they're getting that ball rolling. Now we're getting to the point where it is very much like the lead in the sort of the stride the Team Tickles were hitting in game 1. And you've got to sort of ask yourself, how are Liquid going to turn this one around?
Yeah, so the gold lead is not as big, but it's earlier. Yeah. And they've been 5-manning, so the gold lead would be more if they were farming, but they're raxing.
Zai's in trouble. Drive back into the starting zone. The damage coming out this stage, just the crits interaction, the hard hits of the orbs of Boom. This is going to be another set of racks. 2 sets of racks in 22 minutes in. Matu's trying his best with the rat, hitting onto the tier 3 down bottom, but he's obviously not going to do it nearly as fast as the full team of Team Tickles. 22 minutes in, 2 sets of racks taken, and it looks like Team Tickles aren't going anywhere. They're going to keep pushing on.
Yeah, they are. They're forcing Matamba back. I mean, Matamba's still just trading. He's just trying to rack.
He's going to get a range racks, but then he's losing tier 4s. See if Team Tickles, what are they going to do? They know that Zai's back up. With Zai coming back in, they will start to back off. Charge over. It's going to catch Draccio. Okay. Maybe a bit of a bait, as Mickey has to put the BKB and head back. See Matu, Play Fury to avoid being glimpsed back to the bottom lane and out of the fight. Draccio's coming in with the BKB. The arena's been dropped. Jump over Mickey, but Mickey's going to go back over with the charge. Has been able to do enough damage to bring Ace very low, but Ace still around the turn. Sanity's ravage from Ace. Comes out, catches the 3 of them. As Team Tickles, they look to continue the cleanup. Matu goes down, Mickey as well. Zai trying his best to fight back the 3 of Team Tickles, but Draccio chases down Insania. The hammer comes crashing down onto Zai. Everything comes crashing down for Liquid, as GG has called a 23-minute victory here from Team Tickles, as this time there's no messing around. They lead very early in this match and they close it up so well. We've seen so many teams that feel in the lead in the position that Tickles have been, but not with the confidence